first Ani Ma'amin that we say is Ani Ma'amin B'Amunah Shleima Sharish Baruch Hu B'Yireh Yemanig L'Chol HaBruim Hu Levadai Osa Oisa V'Yasa L'Chol HaMaisa. So B'Nai Shleilam, besides that he made the world, he controls the world. Every tiny iota, whatever happens in this world, for the Rabbim or for the Yachid, everything is controlled by Ashgacha Pratis, with individual attention from the Rabbeinu Shalom. The Baal Shem Tov said that if you see a leaf falling off from a tree and it falls down and some leaves fall down with face up and some leaves fall down with face down. Some leaves fall down when the stem points to Mizrach. Some leaves fall down when the stem points to Ma'ariv. That is B'Ashgacha Pratis Min HaShamayim. The moment that the leaf falls down, the moment that it touches the surface of the ground, exactly how it falls, who should step on it, who should sweep it away, when it should be swept away. Everything is B'Ashgacha Pratis Min HaShamayim. And if somebody doesn't believe in this, Feltein in Amunah, his Amunah isn't Shleim. The Rabbeinu Shalom takes care of this world in a Eifen Nifla Ma'id. We can't imagine. It's mind-boggling even to start thinking about it. How every little occurrence of the individual, of the family, of the nation, among nations, what happens to a tiny little egg of a fish which is laid by the banks of a certain river? Which egg should develop into a fish? Which egg should be eaten up before it develops? And everything, the whole history of the fish, everything is B'Ashgacha Pratis Min HaShamayim. There's a lot to talk about this. But it's behest upon him, it's behest Torah. We don't see it. We don't understand it. We don't see, everything looks natural. We don't see the Rabbeinu Shalom's plans. There's one area where the Rabbeinu Shalom lets us take a glimpse. He shows us something. Also not too much, but he shows us something. That area is Shidduchim. Zivugim. The Medrash tells us the story of Queen Cleopatra, and she knew that Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya is a Chacham Atik, a Mordechai Chacham, and she always called him to discuss things with him. And she once asked him, the Medrash says, what does Rabbeinu Shalom do since Brias Ha'olam? He created the world. What does he do? So he answered her, he makes Shidduchim. The Rabbeinu Shalom makes matches between Ish le'Ishta. So she says, I can also do it. So he says, I challenge you. So she takes 1,000 slaves, 1,000 men slaves, and 1,000 maid slaves, women, and she lines them up in two rows, one against the other, one towards the other. And she says, each one should marry the woman opposite him. The queen says, so they did it. The next morning, they all come out, and one has a black eye, another one has a bloody nose, and one has to be given first aid. It didn't work. The matches didn't work. So she says, now I see that you're right. The Rabbanu Shalom takes care of shidduchim. A human being can't do it. Now let's analyze that. What's pshat that she said, since Brias Ha'olam, what does the Rabbanu Shalom do? So he says he makes shidduchim. What's pshat in that? He does everything. But she was a Goya, I should say. And she said, all right, true. I believe that the Rabbanu Shalom made the world. But then you left it over. It's made already. What's happened to the one that made this tape recorder? Tape recorder's made already. He went to Florida, or whatever, or he's in prison. He killed somebody like the Menigas today. But the tape recorder, like a tape recorder. So she thought, Rebbe made the world like he made this tape recorder. Goodbye, world. All right. Function. No. So she said, since Rabbanu made this world, what does he do anymore? There's nothing to do. So he said, I'll show you a certain area where you're going to have to be made that the Rabbanu Shalom takes care. Because everything else is behest upon them. You don't see it. You don't see the Ashgacha Pratis of the Rabbanu Shalom. But by Shidduchim, you do see it. Your young boys, you're going to find out. Every one who does a Shidduch has a story to tell. How B'oifen Nifla his shidduch came to be. It didn't come like when you go to buy a car, you go into the store, you buy a car, you go into the store, you buy a house, place, whatever. It doesn't work that way. It's with nifla'is. You see that the Rabbanu Shalom steered two people to come together b'oifen nifla with ma'ira'is, with episodes that are pliyas. That's how shidduchim are made. By shidduchim, the Rabbanu Shalom, for a moment, shows himself. I am the one who controls the world. And the evidence is by a shidduch. So from there, be makish, make a hekesh for everything else in the world. I control. Generally, Rabbi Yankel Emden, you heard of him, one of the biggest achreinim in the past 200 or 300 years. The Meiruk Tzia, the Shals of Chuvas Meiruk Tzia, and he wrote a Rabbi Yankel Emden Seder, which is for Balabatim. Wrote a Sefer, Migdal Ois. And in there he writes that Shatchen is Rosh Teivus Sheker Doive al Kesef Noitel. Sheker Doive, he says Shkarim, Kesef Noitel, and it takes money. One of the bad midas, one of the worser midas Midas Chais is Litzanis. All these Sfarim warn us about Litzanis. The Psukim warn us about Litzanis. Altis Leitzitzu, the Navi says, don't make Litzanis. Because it's going to have very bad repercussions. Don't make Litzanis. Litzanis is the opposite of Emunah. I discussed it at length last year. Emunah's pashtus, tmimus. Tamim tirim Shem Elokecha. The Rabbi Angevemden certainly wouldn't make Litzanis. So why did he say that? And more than that, why did he write this into the Sefer? It's a Sefer of Torah. In the middle of the Sefer is a little Torah, Litzanis, Shakadai v'Kesef Noita. A joke. The way I explained now, Shidduchim is only from the Rabbeinu Shalom. He takes care of everything. The Reb Zelva Lebrisker said that by a shidduch, the purpose of the Shatchin and the investigation and the exploration and the meeting and everything else is only for the nerves. Because Rabbeinu Shalom does everything anyway. For the nerve, that's it. There's a very interesting piece of Torah from the Tzemach Tzedek, the Lubavitcher, the Tzemach Tzedek. He was a grandchild of the Tanya. He writes that Shidduch is a Dava Nizgav Ma'ayid, a very high Inyan. It's himmlish. Even the Malach doesn't know. Because the Gemara says that Abam Yain Kodim Yitzilas Avlad, a Baskel goes out and says Bas Pliny LePliny. But from Chazal we know more than that. That the Malach says Bas Pliny LePliny, so we tell him, no, you were wrong. Then he says, it tries again, until he hits it on the head. But even the Malach doesn't know. It's a high Indian, just like Malchus Beis David. Shmuel Hanavi knew everything, but not Malchus Beis David. When the Rabbeinu Shalom tells him to go to Yishai and be Moshe and anoint one of his children for the king, he took the oldest son. That's the Mashiach, that's the Gesalbter. The Rebbe says, "Atabit al Mareyu." Don't give attention how he looks. I don't want him. He tried the next son, until he tried all his sons. The Rebbe says, "I didn't mean him." So he asks Yisha, "Do you have any other son?" So he says, "Yeah, I have a son. I halt nicht for him. He's nothing. He's taking care of the sheep. His name is David." So he says, "I want him." He brings David. The Rebbe says, "This is the Mashiach. This is the Gesalbter, the anointed one." And he spilled the Shemana Mishra on him. The Shidduch is a Dava Nistar Ma'ayid. Dava Nistar Ma'ayid. There are, I'm not up to date, I believe about 6 billion people in the world. And out of these, so 3 billion Masama are Mekayvis. So 3 billion are Masam Zacharim, more or less. So out of the 3, anyone who does a Shidduch takes one of the 3 billion in the world, and this is what the Rabbeinu Shalom sent his way. It's a Dava Nistar Ma'ayid, and Dafke one. Sometimes a person can lose his Shidduch through Aveirus, especially Chaz v'Shalom through Begam Abris, Nazal Chazach. If he doesn't do tshuva, he might lose his Shidduch. But generally people do get the shidduch. And so everything is controlled by the Rabbeinu Shalom. So the Tzemach Tzedek said that to bring down the shidduch all the way down into this world, into Olam Hazeh, is to drag down the big kedusha into this chayshich world. You need something to bring some gashmias into that shidduch. It's so heilig. So therefore, the derech it's usually that way, that by every shidduch there is a lie. The Shadchan says a lie, and because of that, he urges somebody and persuades him into a certain shidduch. If that person would have known that lie, he wouldn't have gone into it. So because it's a sheker, and sheker adach falsch, sheker is b'midvar sheker tiarchak, the Rebbe hates sheker. Hashem Elokim emes. So, by every Aveira, the Rebbe says, don't do the Aveira. By sheker, it's not enough not to do the Aveira. Go away from it. Midvar sheker tiarchak, the Pasuk says. So they say a sheker, somebody tells him a lie, and because of that he goes into the shidduch, and after the chasna he finds out. Rebbe should help. You should all have a good knife, and nobody finds the shidduch after the marriage as he thought it was before. It's a surprise. The Rebbe should help all of you. We should have good surprises when the time comes. Al Kapanim. So that's why you need the shekel. Otherwise, it wouldn't go. That's what Tzemach Tzedek says. There's halachas in the Shulchan Aruch and Chayei Mishpat that you're supposed to pay a shadchan. And if you don't pay a shadchan, it's gezayla. And there are many mindses that I know of, and that I read about, and that I know of personally, where there was no shalom bayis. So they came to a tzaddik, and they asked the tzaddik, what can we do? So the tzaddik asks, did you pay the shadchan? People try to, after the shidduch, well, you didn't, I knew it without you, you're not the real I could have done it without you. So, if they pay the shadchan, the shalom bayis returns. So, it's a chiyuv to pay the shadchan. Why? Because he did you a service. You have to pay for the service. Why should you pay? The Rebbe makes you do it. Why should you pay? Well, Weiss that the answer is you don't pay him for making the shidduch. You pay him for saying the lie. But the Rebbe should do everything for you to make your shidduch, but he won't say a lie for you. You need somebody to say a lie. First of all, you pay the shadchan. So now we come back to Rabbi Yankiv Emden. Rabbi Yankiv Emden didn't say a litzanis. He said shadchan is sheker doiver kesef neitel. In other words, why should you pay the shadchan? Teretz is for saying the lie. Sheker doiver, because it says sheker kesef neitel. He can take the money. After all, he did a service. He did a service, like for fixing your sink. It's a service. Yeah. So it says, Lulei Hashem ezrasali kemachach neduma nafshi. A shadchan, he's vicious. Not all shadchanim, but pretty many shadchanim, they're vicious. They know they can take $2,000 from each side. Sometimes they ask for more. And sometimes you give them less. And so he goes with determination. He's going to feel durch this shidduch. And the shadchan shouldn't get you into trouble. But the Rabbeinu Shalom takes care of you. A shidduch is called an Ezer. Ezer Knegdei. So the pasuk says, Luli Hashem is Rasali. If not the Rabbeinu Shalom would have been my Ezer to help me in this shidduch. Kemat shachna duma nafshi. I would have been doomed. I would have gone to doom with a malach of Misa. But the Rebbe is my Ezra Sali. It says in the Medrash that when Yankov Avinu went to Charan to get a shidduch, he said the capital Shir Malis Ezra Miyam Hashem. It says in Sfarim, when somebody's looking for a shidduch, remember when the time comes, you should say it. So in Shmonescha, before you step out to Shalom, you should say this capital and ask Ezra Miyam Hashem. So the pasuk says, Luli Hashem, Ezra Salif, not Rebbe, gives him a Ezra, Kemat Shachna Duma Nafshi. Kemat Shachna Duma Nafshi is Rosh Hashanah Shatchan. If I would have relied on that Shatchan, who knows what would have happened with me? But Rebbe takes care of me. So don't be scared. In the Parsha, we find that Eliezer was sent to find a shidduch. This Parsha is a Parsha of Shidduchim. There's a minhag by the Sfardim that when there's a chassan in the shul to take out 2 Sefer Teiras. In one Sefer Torah they read the Seder of the week, and the second Sefer Torah they learn. In the second Sefer Torah they learn the Parsha of the Avram Zaken Baba Yanim, and they read the whole Parsha of Shidduchim, how the Shidduch of Yitzchak and Rivka came to be. Because in that Parsha there's the Seides and the Ashpais and the Brachis of a Shidduch. The Shidduch which is described by the Torah Gedosha in detail. So from this Parsha we should learn out how to do a Shidduch. This Parsha teaches us how to do a Shidduch. Koydem Kol, you're young boys. This should be told to you several years from now, but I don't know if there will be somebody around several years from now that will tell it to you. So I'm saying it now, that you should have zugehen dazu, you have to approach it, the Kedusha, the Tahara, and be careful. Be careful. Chaz v'shalom, don't be nichshel and aveirus ordering before know your boyhood in your young years, because Chaz v'shalom, through that you make it more difficult that the shidduch should come your way. And there's a minhag today that you meet 10 times, 12 times, 15 times, 40 times. It's not necessary. The Gemara says that. I should see her. So you see her once and fanatic. But I'm not telling you that you should see her once. Don't quote me. I didn't say that. Because it'll be a litzanis, and because it's against the minhag America. But you don't have to see 40 times that. You could say my name. You see enough, because you won't find out too much from seeing anyway. You won't find out too much from seeing. Because you have to be beidig, that midas tayves, na solche Sachen, and that you can't find out from meeting. But the Indian is, in this week's Sadra, Rab Shamshon Falher, she was a German tzaddik. He wasn't a Yid with a shchaimer on a white socks. A German Yid, or a German Rabbiner writes in his Sefer on the Chumash, look how Yidden do a Shidduch. The father sends Eliezer to get Rivka, and that's Yitzchak's Shidduch. That's Yitzchak's Shidduch. Rabbi Yankov Kamenetsky, Zechayna Levracha, told us how he did a Shidduch, how he married his Rebbetzin. He was his father was a Rav, and the Meduberes, the one who was talked, the daughter of a big Rav and Manig Yeshiva, And the mother went and saw the meduberes, and she came back with a good report. But the Gemara says, so they made up in between the two towns where they lived. There was a third town, and they're going to meet in the house of the Rav in between. So he comes there, and he sits down, and he starts being a pilpul with the Rav, and for the Rambam in her, then she comes in with a tray of coffee and cake, puts down the tray on the table. He gives a glance and says, "Adank," and she answers, "Bitte," which means "you're welcome," and she walks out, and that's as much as he saw of her in Torah Chuvah.
5:45.
It's used to do a shidduch. I'm not speaking about Ungarische to Polish, Chassidim, Belzer to Satmara or Dagero. I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about a Litvak. That's what Emes Yiddish Litvak is used to do a shidduch. Today, if somebody will say that, all right, you say the rest. But that's how Yidden used to do, and there was much less Gittin than today, much less Gittin, much more Shalom Bayis than today. So you see that in this week's parasha. That's how the Reb Shamshon Hirsch points out. That's how a shidduch should be made. I'm telling this to you. You should know how falsch, how nish Yiddish the American culture is. That's how it is. I'm talking to the wall, but at least you should know that there has to be a gevul. There has to be a gevul. So this week's Seder, Eliezer was the first Shatchen, and he negotiated and made the whole shidduch, and he brought back a fatike kala for Yitzchak. So his name is Eliezer. His name is Eliezer. Everybody has the purpose of his coming in this world in his name. The Gemara says Rabbi Meir Badik Bishma. Rabbi Meir was Baitik and Sheamus. By hearing a person's name, he knew what this person is. We're going to talk more about it, Be'ezer Hashem, yet this man. So, Rabbi Meir Badik Bishma, he is being that the most important thing that Eliezer accomplished in his life, being his servant to Avram Avinu, was the shidduch that he did for Yitzchak. And there's a whole parsha about it. In the whole parsha, we don't have once Eliezer's name mentioned. Gewalt. Why is he called Eliezer? Because he came in this world, that was a zikr shlichus, to do shidduchim. Eliezer. My Ezer comes to me, Ezra Miyam Hashem, and Rabbi Shalom makes the Ezer. That's why he's his name. Why in Vayomer Avraham Avtoi Zekan Beisai Hameisha B'chal Asher Lai, and it doesn't mention his name. And then it says Ha'ish, 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 and sometimes Ha'eved, 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 Eved Avraham Anaychi. Doesn't mention his name. Why not? Well, the reason why a shidduch can't be done without a ligan, without any shekel, is because you gotta throw something to the sun. So there's a minion. We're not allowed to do it. But what the Torah tells us to do it, we do it. The Satan is a mekatchek. He always likes to spoil things for us. The Satan is called a kelev. When you're eating a fine Suda, and I mean among Goyim, when people eat a fine Suda and there's a Kelev there and he wants to jump on the table and eat also, what do? You throw him a bone. So you have menucha. Sometimes you have to throw him a bone. But we're not allowed. Because it's Avodah Zarah. He's Tumah. He's Avodah Zarah. He's a Malach HaMavis. He's the Yetzer Hara. He's a Satan. So, but when the Torah tells us, we do it. A very classical oifen where the Torah tells us to do it is by Yom Kippur. You bring the carbon to the Rabbeinu Shalom. You bring 2 Seirim. One goes into the Kodesh HaKadoshim, his blood, Soyer Echad L'Hashem, V'Soyer Echad L'Azazayim. And one Soyer goes to Azazayim, to the Kelev. And you take him Aleres Gezayra, and it's for the Satan. And the Zayas sometimes, where the halacha and the halacha is so, we do it by very important mitzvahs, where the Satan won't let us do it unless we give him something. It's a beispiel by the Tefillin. Tefillin is a meidadika mitzvah. And you have to be very, very medactic in Tefillin. You should have kosher at Tefillin. The whole atzlacha vayid is in this Tefillin. Hukshet Tefillin L'Chala Torah Kula, the Gemara says in Kedushin. It brings the Kedusha and the Emunah into a Yid. So you have to have kosher Tefillin and put on Tefillin with Kavanah, because that's the Yesaitis of Emunah. In Tefillin you have Achdus Hashem, the Emunah that Reibish says Yachad Miyachad. It says over there Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and you have there Yitzias Mitzrayim, which is the Yesod of Emunah. Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Tzeitzichem Me'eretz Mitzrayim. That's a mitzvah of Emunah. And wear it b'kedusha. Put on tefillin b'kedusha. And not be masir das from the tefillin. And be careful if you are machshavus why you're wearing the tefillin. Al kapanim, being that the tefillin is such a big mitzvah, so the Satan is jealous and he wants to hurt us when we put on tefillin. So we have to throw him something. Give him a shtickle chaylik in the mitzvah. So what do we do? If you notice, on the right side of the tefillin, the tefillin, the shalrash has 4 batim, and the bias is divided into 4 compartments. So from the right one, there's few hairs coming out. You probably know it, and if you're not, inspect your tefillin tomorrow morning. There's 2 or 3 tiny little hairs sticking out. These hairs come from a goat, a seyel. We give him his chaylik in the tefillin, just like the seyel azazay, just like the soil azazay. Not the mitzvahs, we also do such things, but the very big mitzvahs. And that's my machrayim also. It's a very big mitzvah to the food that a person eats. We're so not accustomed to do things the way Yidden really should do it. When a person eats, he's giving himself life. The Rabbeinu Shalom gives him kaiches into the food for his life. So he has to be careful. It should be chayim shel Torah, chayim shel bracha, chayim sheyesh b'hem yiras shamayim, yiras chait. So he should be careful when he eats. There's so many mitzvahs with eating in the food that we eat, especially in Eretz Yisrael. There's so many mitzvahs in the food that we eat, trumos and meinsras and chalas, and even the chutz la'aretz, all the dinim. There's something like 11 mitzvahs, and then when the bread comes to us already, it needs netilas yadayim, you make a bracha, and then you dip the hamaitzi in salt 3 times Hashem Havaya, Melach is Gematria 3 times the Shem Havaya, and then you make a bracha with Kavanah. 10 words are in a Maitzi Alechem in the Eretz, Kneged Yasara Mamoris Shebem Nivra Olam. And you read L'Shem Shemayim, and you have to bench, and Birchas HaMazayin is a Medaraisa, V'chalta, V'svota, V'rachta. So it's after, when we eat a Suda, there's so many mitzvahs involved, the Satan can get jealous and be mazikas in some way, or Chaz v'Shalom be machshalas in some way. So we throw him something. That's the Mayim Acharayim. As I state in Sfarim. Al Kapanim, by a general shidduch, we have to throw something to him. So what does a Satan get from a general shidduch that he shouldn't be mekatrik? The Gemara says, "Lekik suva d'layramu b'tegra." So what do we give him? We give him the sheker of the shatchan. He gets his, he enjoys it. That's his food, the sheker. That's what the sitracha is nourished upon, and sheker, and falsehood. We give him that. The shidduch of Yitzchak and Rivka was so heilig, so kodesh kedoshim, the Satan couldn't do nothing there. So, by this only shidduch, you didn't have to say a lie. The Satan can't do nothing. It was kodesh kedoshim from the beginning to the seif. And the shidduch doesn't need, you should be megashim, it should come into Olam Hazeh. You don't need no lie. So Eliezer said, in this week's Seder, when he made the shidduch, V'avarech es Hashem asher imchani b'derech emes. I went through emes. He didn't lie. He didn't tell Psuel or Ravan anything wrong about the shidduch. He told them the complete truth. Chani b'derech emes. Being that it was emes, you don't need the shatchan. He was just a shliach for Avraham Avinu, but not as a shatchan. The Rabban Yisrael does this without the shatchan, so his name isn't mentioned here. He's not the shatchan. But we know that the shayresh avodah shatchanim is Eliezer. Kayli Eizer. The Rabban Yisrael gives me my shidduch. So the whole parsha is a parsha of Ashgacha Pratis. And you see so many inyanim in the parsha where Eliezer thanks to Rabban Yisrael and V'ekot V'shtach V'avarech. It's a very touching parsha. I know from my experience, sometimes when I'm out of Seder, this parsha, I learn it with Chumash and Rash and the parsha, sometimes tears come into my eyes. It's such a touching parsha, the way Eliezer was mishtapayach, with hishtapchis hanefesh, was mispalei to the Rabban Yisrael, please make it happen. And then afterwards, he thanks the Rabban Yisrael, this parasha told you something. A tzaddik like Avraham Avinu had to marry off his son. A tzaddik like Yitzchak to a tzaddikus like Rivka. And you have to be mispaler. Koshkin, how much do we have to be mispaler? And who knows how much we have to be mispaler? Sometimes you have to be mispaler over and over again. Tefillah always helps, but sometimes you need more tefillah. So the Medrash says, Kavi al Hashem, be mispaler to the Rabban Yisrael, and if you see that your tefillah isn't answered, chazak, don't be discouraged, chazak, bizach mechazik, v'yamis lebecha, v'kavi al Hashem, and daven again. Keep on davening. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to go into Eretz Yisrael. So we know, Chazal tell us that Moshe Rabbeinu needed 516 tefillahs to go into Eretz Yisrael. If he would have davened 516 tefillahs, he would have gone into Eretz Yisrael. And it would have been the Zman HaTikkun. No Churban, no nothing. So Moshe Rabbeinu davened 515 tefillos. And Chazal tell us, V'aschanan al Hashem, V'aschanan is B'gematria 515. He davened 515 tefillos. If he would have davened one more tefillah, he would have been able to go into Eretz Yisrael. He would have broke the Gzeira. So the Rebbeinu Shalom begged Moshe Rabbeinu, and Moshe Rabbeinu listens. V'yomer Eilei Hashem, al taisev daber Eilei b'davar hazeh. Please don't daven another tefillah. Because if you do daven another tefillah, you're going to break the mechitza. But the Rebbeinu Shalom's ratzon was that Moshe Rabbeinu shouldn't daven another tefillah. He shouldn't go into Eretz Yisrael for the purpose of the Daya HaMidbar. Because since Moshe Rabbeinu was Nigbar on the Midbar, so when by Tchias HaMeisim, he's going to take along all the Meisei Midbar and take them to Eretz Yisrael. So we see an interesting thing. For a certain thing, Moshe Rabbeinu was such a big tzaddik, and still to go into Eretz Yisrael,
6 o'clock.
One tefillah.
It's 6 o'clock.
515 tefillahs weren't enough. You needed 516. And if the Rebbeinu Shalom knew that it's for the good reason for the Yidden that he shouldn't go into Eretz Yisrael, so Rebbeinu Shalom told them, please don't do another tefillah. We sometimes need a lot of tefillahs. We have to accumulate a lot of tefillahs. So who knows? Maybe you should start davening an hour already and start saying when you finish Shemona Esrei, before Yehud Arad, say this kapitel. The Bnei Yissaschar says that this kapitel is mesugel, that to help you get a good shidduch, to say the kapitel that Yankov Avinu said when he went to get a shidduch. The kapitel in Tehillim, Shir Lamale, says, Einei Elohim, Ein Yevi Ezri, and say the Tachem, Ezri Yim Hashem, Oisei Shemayim V'Oretz, and you shouldn't have to show them Falarein, or you can elaborate like Lecha Yonim Shemirach. And Rebbe says, Shayme Yisrael, Hashem Yishmachem, HaKol Ra, Yishmas Nafshechem, Rebbe should help. So you can already start with that. Who knows how many tefillahs you need? There are 355, on the average, together with Nibriel, there's 365 days a year. And you can say that 3 times a day. On the Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, Yom Tov 4 times a day. And on Yom Kippur 5 times a day. Because Yom Kippur there's 5 tefillahs. So you have a chance. And the Yekazach is to be erlach, to be clean, to be pure, in your machshava, and your dibber, and your mindset. And don't Chaz Shalom be nirshel in these yanim, because these yanim, shmiras ha'inayim, shmiras ha'machshava, shmiras ha'yadayim, shmiras b'ris kaidish, these yanim, if you're shomer on that, you have much more schusim that the Rebbe should help you. Because this is the atzlacha of a person. A good shidduch can make a person, or chas v'shodem break a person. Medav zeyam mispalel zayin on that. And you see, Lovin, they wanted to be Miyakiv, and Lovin couldn't be Miyakiv. Lovin couldn't be Miyakiv. You see, Lovin Psuel wanted to kill Eliezer. He put poison into his food, and then he wanted to take away his money. So the Rebbe made a nest, and the Malach came and exchanged the dishes. And Psuel died the next overnight. He was poisoned by his own poison. Like the Midrashim say, like I think Rashi brings it in Chumash. Rashi brings it, yeah. And the Rebbe should Tachten gegeben that no one should harm, no one should get into the way. Eliezer, after they said, okay, so he says, Umigdanais, he took out the clothing and the zav and the kesef and gave to Rivka, gave her wedding presents, and he gave Migdanais nash. Migdanais means nash. Rashi says machalim toivim mini megadim that he brought from Eretz Yisrael. Nasan l'chiyah olima gave to the brother and to the mother. Why didn't he give to Psuel? And after that they ate, and the dishes were exchanged, and the next morning Psuel was dead. So v'yaymer achiyah v'yima. But why didn't he give any Migdanis to Psuel? It's a davar parallel. Migdanis nasan l'chiyah v'yima. Now the Teretz says Eliezer had the Ruach HaKodesh, of course. He was Adam Gadol B'Oid. It says Avdis Kan Beisai. So he was a Zokan V'Yeshiv B'Yeshiva. He was Rosh Hashiva Eliezer. And that's why he was called Damascus Eliezer. So Chazal say Shadayla Mashkim Metayrus Rabbi Alachayim. He used to say over Avram Avinu's Shiurim to the island. So he was a great man, and he had Ruach HaKodesh. And you see the tefillah that he said. So why didn't he give Migdanis to Besuel also? And I suppose Besuel was very offended. No, he was smart. Eliezer knew Ruach HaKodesh that Besuel wants to poison him. So what would have, and he knew that the Malach exchanged it. Vayusam lefanav lachayil. Vayusam lefanav lachayil. Vayusam, he gave him some. And the Malach exchanged it. Eliezer knew what was going on. So Eliezer gave nash, he gave the delicacies to Lavan and to the mother, but not to Psuel. Because if he would have given to Psuel, and the next morning Psuel would have died, they would have said Eliezer poisoned Psuel. They would have blamed him, and they would have he would have been put into prison or worse, and they would have taken away his money. Eliezer was careful. I'm not giving you any excuse to put a chshad on me. I'm not poisoning Psuel. Psuel poisoned himself. I didn't give him any Migdanis to eat. He had no food which came from me. Achiyah v'yima he gave. But after that, at night, they say, Hine Rivka lefanecha, kach v'leich, take. The next morning, already they said no. Teisha v'nari imanu, yamim, ayosayam, let us stay. Don't rush, let us stay here. Let's stay here. They changed their mind. Because they saw the big kayach of Eliezer. So Koshkin, who was Avraham, and they were Rishayim Gemurim. Lavan was a Rasha Gemugamo. You know who Lavan was? He was Bilam. Targum Yonason says it 2 times in Chumash, in Parshas Balak. El Bilam ben Psayo Psayra. So Targum Yonason says, "O Bilam ben Psayahu Lavan," that's Lavan. And another time, when in Parshas Matos, when Pinchas killed Bilam, so the Targum Yonason says that Pinchas told Bilam, "I know who you are. You're Lavan. You're Lavan." And the Medrash says that. Targum Yonason from Rabbi Yonason ben Nazir says that. So he was a Rasha Merusha. Bilam was always out to Chaz v'Shalom be machshel v'yid and make tzaras for the yid. So when Bilam saw that Eliezer is such a tzaddik and Rebbe made such nisim with him, and he was so careful that he didn't give any Migdanis to Psuel, so he was afraid. But look to me, Rivka, my sister, is getting married in such a tzaddik's house. Oh, they're going to be, and Bilam can't stand when Yidden are tzaddikim. So Lavan changed his mind. So Eliezer told him, watch out, Lavan. You know with whom you're playing? He says, I see. Don't make me wait. Vashem mitzliach daki. The Rebbe was mitzliach my way. You know what I mean. You think I don't know why Psuel died? He wanted to poison me? So you see that Hashem is Sliach Daki. The Rebbe tells Matzliach, don't get in my way, love, and you're going to get the same shvats and stuff that your father Psuel got if you're going to hinder me. So Lavan got scared. And then Lavan wanted to get even on him. He remembered this. And he wanted to get even at least on Yitzchak's child. And the Miyas Hashem, Rebbe should help Mashiach should come before, when Parshas Vayetzi is going to come, we're going to find out the whole halach yayelech that went on between Yankov Avinu and Lavan. This year is Tavshin Samach, so hope Mashiach will come. So you're near to Mashiach alone. So have a very nice Shabbos, and you should know that this Shabbos is Shabbos Mavach Kislev. The Benchtam Chaydish Kislev is a Meiredik Chaydish, the Chaydish of Oira, the Chaydish of Chanukah. Kislev is different than any other Chaydish which has a Yom Tov. Because Kislev, the whole Chaydish is the Yom Tov. It says in Zohar that there are 24 days in Kislev, connected to 24 Isis of Baal Shem Kved Malachusay. And then comes chayei Kislev, chayei, connected to chayei Isis of Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. So that's what the whole Kislev is. Kabbalah Sal Malachus Shemayim. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and Baal Shem Kved Malachusay. The Yom V'et. So it's a Meiredik Chaydish, a Chaydish of Lichtigkeit, a Chaydish when Torah had a Nitzachim, when the Lavans and the Psuels had a big Mapala, and the Torah came out strong, and the Chashmonaim and Klal Yisrael, it was Tmeim Yat Torah, and Rishon Yat Eiskei Serasecha, and the Eiskei Serasecha came out with the big Yeshua with flying colors, Lamchis Oasita Chua G'day Lefort, and chayei Mazeh. It's a Chaydish that we have to be Mechazik in Torah, a Chaydish that Klal Yisrael needs a lot of schusim now. Provide schusim. Manufacture schusim. Learn Torah. Do mitzvahs. Give tzedakah. Do everything that can make a nachasur to the Rabbeinu Shleilim. Because Klal Yisrael needs it. And the Rebbe should tell us we should kiss Rebbe that is Galus Oirei Shemelech HaMashiach. That's what it says in order Sfarim, that in the Chanukah Licht there's the beginning of the He'orah, of the light of Oirei Shemelech HaMashiach. The Rebbe should hope we should be Zeicha to that, to the full Oirei Shemelech HaMashiach. Taki, b'mheira. A good Shabbat.